and it feels like discovering a big old bear sitting in your favorite office chair. And the bear doesn't look happy. The bear represents problems that exist in your operation, in your organization. It can be toxic coworkers, dismissive or combative customers, or conflict-inflicting communication skills that are killing productive teamwork. Toxic people, or bears, put in an environment with little to no training cause toxic interactions. Situations where poking the bear really seems necessary. But make sure if you decide that you're going to poke that bear that you have the proper safety equipment, like maybe bear spray. You don't want to just go out and go hand-to-hand combat with that bear because you'll lose. So let's talk about an occurrence that most of us are familiar with. Oh, it's been a hard day. It's been a busy week. And we're leaving work late again. Maybe you can all relate to some or all of those scenarios. Now you realize you're hungry. And maybe you just now thought about the fact that when you get home, your children and the rest of your family are going to be hungry too. You think about your favorite fast food restaurant, which just happens to be nearby. That sounds like a big winner, right? Yeah. You decide the drive-thru is calling your name, and you're going to let them make you dinner. The rest of the story goes something like this. You pull into the drive-thru area, and you wait for the few cars in front of you to go up to order. It's finally your turn to drive up to that talking box and place your order. And then you sit and wait for all the other cars that are in front of you to pay for their order and get their order and then move on. Yay, it's your turn. You get to the window, you pay, you get your order, and then you begin to check it while you're sitting in the drive-thru line. Right? You want to make sure it's correct. We've all done this before, right? Or we've gotten home and found that we're missing something. Or the order for your pickiest child is wrong. The employee in the window says, "You're holding up the line. If you want to check your order, pull over." You know it's not going to take that long to check your order, but you politely comply. As you're checking out your order, you find a dirty, used Band-Aid wrapped up in your food. Gross. I don't even want to know how many of you have had that kind of situation. Ugh. So you park the car, you go inside with the order to complain. Guess what? The person at the drive-thru window is the manager on duty. Yep, you guessed it. They're short-handed. The manager looks to you and says, "Well, you pulled away from the window with your order. How do I know that you didn't put that Band-Aid in there?" You tell the manager, "That's ridiculous. That's not at all what happened." Then the manager turns around and yells to all the workers in the back, "Which one of you idiots has a cut that is now missing a Band-Aid?" Everyone behind the counter looks terrified. Some of them might murmur a soft, "Not me." And they look around half-heartedly, hoping that someone else is going to confess. Surprise, surprise, no one does. Well, I wouldn't either. I mean, I'd be terrified too. Would you? Who would you say the bear in this situation is? Well, now you unintentionally poke the bear with a request to get all of your money back. Well, the manager gets angry and knocks all of your food order off the counter and onto the floor. You're shocked, but you start yelling at the manager. You refuse to leave until he refunds all of your money. You yell, and maybe you yell some more, and the manager doesn't pay any attention to you. You don't realize it until it's too late that the manager has called the police, who show up, and now they write you a disorderly conduct ticket. Then those nice police officers politely escort you out to your car in the parking lot. The next day you call the restaurant to talk to the manager, and the manager is very apologetic. They replace your order and they refund all of the money that you spent on the order that had been knocked on the floor the night before. But you poked the bear, so now that money is going to pay for your ticket. If you had only left the restaurant without poking the bear, at that time, if you had just done that and then waited till the next day to call the owner, how differently would the outcome have been? I watched the situation unfold, and I know the ending of the story because the person posted these events on the community's social media page. Think about that. It's a story that featured the restaurant's bear. How did the bear's behavior impact the business? How were the customers who were reading this story on social media feel about going back to that restaurant? Could this bear maybe have cost this restaurant some customers? Oh, and for those of you who want to know, the bear was dispatched humanely